In this section, we're going to be looking at functions and some of their parts or characteristics. What you have here, first of all, is the definition of a relation, as it says that it's just a set of any ordered pairs. But the first component or first part of each of these ordered pairs, which we know as our x values or our x coordinates, if you remember, that's what makes up what's called your domain, and the set of all second components, which is your y coordinate, is what's referred to as your range. So your x's make up your domain and your y's make up your range. So that'll be an important part of this definition that you would need to remember. Okay, next is the definition of a function. Now, going back to the note that I just had up there where it stated about a relation, as it says, is a set of all ordered pairs, but only certain relations are functions. Okay, so like a function has a little bit more detail to it. As it states, a function is a pairing from the domain to the range in which each element in the domain pairs exactly with one element in the range. So you've got to remember that each element that you have in your domain pairs with exactly one element in the range. Now, when it all boils down to the end and you're looking at your x's and your y's, same thing that you've been taught, what that really means is that your x's cannot repeat. Because what's going to happen is if your x's repeat, it's not going to pair with exactly 1. So like if you have the x value of 5 that's there twice, then what it's doing is pairing with 2 elements from the range. Okay, so like I said, bottom line is what you need to remember about a function is that your x's cannot repeat. Alright, so just looking at some sets of ordered pairs and determining, do we have a function, and then also talking about the domain and the range. Okay, so my first set of ordered pairs, like I said, first of all, they want to know, are you dealing with a function? So based on what I just told you, I said bottom line, to determine if something is a function, just simply look to see if your x's are repeating. Alright, so if you go through here, of course you can see this ordered pair has an x value of 5. This ordered pair has also an x value of 5. And actually there's no need to look any further because right here your x's repeat. So because of that, this would not be a function. Now I also have x's that repeat here that would also keep it from being a function, but like I said, as soon as you immediately find x's that repeat, you are not dealing with a function. Alright, you're also asked to determine domain and range. So if you remember, domain is your x values. Now these are considered to be a set of numbers, so you are supposed to use braces since it is a set. When you have values that repeat, you don't write them multiple times. So for instance, you've got the 5. And of course each one of these have x values of 6. So you wouldn't write the 5 twice and the 6 twice. So when it repeats, again, just write it once. So that would be the numbers that make up your domain. Okay, now with range, range is your y values. So here I have a y value of 6. And then I have a y value of 7. But then I have another 6, which I already have listed. And then I've got another 7, which I already have listed. So just like I said a while ago, you don't write a number multiple times when you're listing your domain and your range. Alright, second example down here at the bottom. Again, first of all, we need to determine if we have a function. Now, if you look at your x's now, all 3 of your x's are different. So like in this case, x's do not repeat. Okay, messed that up, but you can spell repeat. X's do not repeat, so that means you are dealing with a function. Okay, then stating domain and range. All right, your domain, since X's didn't repeat, you've got 3 ordered pairs, so you would have to have 3 different X's. So it would be 4, 5, and 6. Okay, range is Y's, but now each one of these Y's, of course, is the same, so you just have to list that once. So your Y's can repeat. That your Y's is not going to affect whether you have a function or not. That's simply always going to be determined based on your X's.